Spartans! What is your profession?
My introduction to the Certain Magical Index and Scientific Railgun series is very different from others. Before switching into the major I am in now, I was planning to major in computer science, and I had to take multiple physics courses to graduate. One day, one of my physics professors was discussing the topic of magnetism, and begins the slideshow by talking about the railgun, Makoto Misaka, and how her power of electricity relates to the right-hand rule. Immediately, I was fascinated with the series and Misaka as a character, and I decided to watch it. What's up guys, it's Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, here to discuss A Certain Scientific Railgun and its second season, A Certain Scientific Railgun S. Does this show deserve a watch? Let's find out. The story of A Certain Scientific Railgun is a side story off the Certain Magical Index franchise and takes place in Academy City, but some of the story's elements, especially in the second season, are intertwined. The story follows one of Index's side characters, Makoto Misaka, a level 5 Esper who is known for her electromagnetic powers, and her friends as they encounter many different challenges along the way. Having watched this season first before any of the other franchises, I thought that Railgun was a standalone product. The first arc is very grasping and keeps you on edge for its span. Unfortunately, the middle part of the series is rather boring and slowly paced, having very little happen, which decreases the excitement of the story for me. However, the final arc hits the ground running and creates a fantastic finale. After finding out that this is a side story to the Certain Magical Index franchise, I was impressed they were able to do a better job telling a story compared to its original counterpart. Railgun objectively does a better job of telling its story's elements compared to Index. The themes throughout its 24-episode span are more thought out and can make you think. The first episode to the series is also very grasping and shows you how impressive Misaka actually is. The second season of Railgun is where things start to take off. The Sisters arc is one of the most enjoyable arcs that I have seen in anime. Misaka as a character develops very quickly throughout its span, and the story provides you with multiple ideals on how society should function. Is it okay to create and destroy something if it was artificially created, or should you not attempt that at all? These were the questions and themes that Railgun S attempted to convey, and they did that job very well. While the second half of the show, in my opinion, underwhelmed me compared to the first arc, it could still be considered quite good, although there were some episodes that bored me. Overall, while there were some faults with the first season, it still has a lot of impressive moments and transitions beautifully into a very impressive second season. The cast of A Certain Scientific Railgun is smaller compared to that of A Certain Magical Index, but I believe that it does a better job in terms of character development. Misaka as a main character is very enjoyable and develops very well as the series progresses, especially during the second season. At first you don't know much about her and you only know that she is one of the most powerful Espers in Academy City. However, you come to realize what Misaka is trying to accomplish while using her power. Are her actions justified or not? These themes helped with her development as the story went along. The group as a whole also comes together and each character develops as the series progresses. Some of the characters exhibit tropes that we have seen in other anime, but they are able to make it their own. I also like the fact that both series are intertwined and the effects of what our characters do in one series translates into the other. Overall, I personally like the characters from Railgun more compared to Index, as I believe that development was more prevalent and thought out. The animation of A Certain Scientific Railgun is just as good as the animation in A Certain Magical Index. JC staff once again proves that they are able to do the animation in this show justice. Character designs look the same compared to the original series, and battle sequences look fantastic and are very grasping. The openings of both series do a good job of showcasing the characters without giving too much away. We see characters in the opening that we acknowledge down the road, but we do not know what their motives are in the beginning. Overall, I was impressed with the animation, as it is just as good as the animation in A Certain Magical Index. The soundtrack of both seasons are well done and work with the animation provided. The first opening, Only My Railgun, and the first opening of the second season, Sister's Noise, were very catchy and have great replay value. The dub was completed by Funimation and is very well done as well. Brittany Karbowski as Misaka was a great choice, and the rest of the cast did a great job as well. Now, with everything that I have said, do I recommend A Certain Scientific Railgun? Yes. While it is a lot easier if you start with A Certain Magical Index, you can watch A Certain Scientific Railgun without any problems. The first season is very enjoyable, but does suffer from some boring moments. However, if you can get past the first season, expect a much better story in the second one. I also believe that the story of Railgun expands upon themes better compared to its original source material, which is an impressive feat. If you can take anything away from this review, just know that Misaka uses the right-hand rule when she attacks, proving that physics is a useful subject outside anything involving mathematics or engineering. Spartan Media Reviews gives both seasons of A Certain Scientific Railgun a combined score of 7.5 out of 10 and a good recommendation. If you are interested in both seasons of A Certain Scientific Railgun, you can watch the series for free over on Funimation's website. And what are your thoughts on A Certain Scientific Railgun and A Certain Scientific Railgun S? Comment below. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. You can also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, I would really appreciate that as well. Follow me on Twitter and Hummingbird to keep up to date with the current things that I'm doing, and with all that said, I will catch you guys in my next review. Thank you for watching.
Shut the